Anyone who has achieved something has done so because they have managed to control their lives and actions to such an extent that it has enabled them to be able to do what they do and to achieve what they achieve. No one who has ever worked hard for their success regretted it. Good morning. Welcome once again to Jacqueline's Corner. This is where we share thoughts, tips and tools to empower you to reach for your greatness, to be the best you that you can be, and to live in your own possibilities. I hope you've had a good weekend, and this is a beautiful start of another week. And we look forward to it. We look forward to doing exploits this week. Success. I want to talk about success this week, this morning to you. You know, it's such a small word, simple, but it's such a behemoth. It's a behemoth because it encapsulates all the ramifications of our lives, what we do with our lives, how we do it. It's all about success. Why are some people successful and why are others not successful? We could list so many reasons why some people are, especially in this present time that we live in, when success is seen as an instant thing, a myth. Viral success, going viral, like the younger generation will call it. That's simply a myth. See, some are talented quite all right, but you know what? It is what they have done with their talent, how they have built on that talent, that has made them a success, not the talent itself. A talent that lies idle is useless. Actually, when you have self-control, you can actually overcome lack of talent. Diligence. When you find talented artists, musicians, they put in a whole lot of practice to get to where they are. So it's not just luck. It's not just by chance. It is called self-control. Now, the chief enemy of our success is lack of self-discipline. Yes, it's not fear. It's not socioeconomic background. It's not the social conditioning of fitting in. It's not the self-doubt. It's not. And mind you, when I'm talking about success here, I'm not just talking about the bank balance. I'm talking about the totality of your life. Your success in your relationships, your success in your personal development and growth, your success in everything, in whatever it is you aspire to do or to be. Your success in that weight loss that you are seeking. Your success in writing, publishing, these are all little parts of success. So it's not just when you have a fat bank balance, but all the results of the culmination of all these other little things leads to that fat bank balance that you're searching for. Now, back to where I am, which is lack of self-discipline. Yes, that's really the biggest enemy. That's the leader to our failure, to frustration, to every other thing that has caused us not to succeed. Sit down and think about it. We tend to look for excuses. We tend to look for reasons. We tend to say, oh, this person has it easier than I do. This person is gifted. This person is talented. No, that's not true. You're giving yourself the rationalization, easy excuse way out. The way out of holding yourself responsible for not being disciplined enough to hone your own skills, not being disciplined enough to stick to your plan, to stick to your goal. That's if you even have the plan in the first place. Lack of self-discipline has two facets. The path of expediency, and also the path of easy way out. Yes, the path of least resistance. You want it right now. You want a quick get-rich scheme that yields money, and then you fall into that rabbit hole of putting in money to get richer, faster and quicker, other than doing what is necessary and probably harder for a sustained success. You want to get promoted, but you don't want to put in the grind. You want to come in leisurely and then leave leisurely, and then at the end of the year you expect a fatter bank check, salary, or recognition and award and promotion. It doesn't work that way. You know, we search for least resistance route to get everything done. How fast? Do it quicker. It doesn't matter. We want the short-term results, but we forget about the long-term. And we forget that sometimes the short-term results and short-term gains actually are counterproductive to our long-term plan and vision. So we are in a cycle going round and round, doing the same thing like a hamster, the same thing but in just different faces, in different facets, with different names, you know. We do the same thing going round and round and going nowhere. And then we wonder, why are we not successful? Lack of self-discipline, lack of self-control. Choosing the easy way out. That choosing the easy way out becomes a fabric of who we are. It becomes like a second nature, a habit. And you know how difficult habits are to break. Once we start thinking, you have a problem before you, and automatically you start seeking the easiest solution to the problem. Yes, it might grant you some ease in the interim, but in the long run, it doesn't pay you, because you've really not built a foundation to sustain the success. Am I making any sense? You've not set the proper foundation to uphold a sustainable success over time. You've just been able to put a plug, a stopgap, and achieve something in the short term, in the interim. But at the end of the day, your goals are still not met, because you're still going to go back to square one. Sometimes even short-term goals even make a situation far worse. I can give you an instance, some get-rich-quick schemes that have, you know, I've happened across, and people come to introduce you to, oh, if you put in this. Have you ever bothered to ask yourself a question? How are you going to earn 200% of money that is not yours? Where did it come from? Ask those questions. Think long term. Do you really have the money to lose? Oh, well, if you do, fine. Oh, well, and good for you. But where does that take you when you lose it? You actually lost more. You've lost in the short term and lost in the longer term. Does it serve you? No. It doesn't take you nearer to your goals. So sometimes we need to think, don't think just beyond, we think beyond now. We think beyond just easing the stress of the moment to our long-term goal, our long-term vision. Our short-term plan has to tie in with our longer-term goals for our lives. And this not just when it comes to finances, also relationships. The relationships you make, the friends you keep, what you read, all that. They have to tie in with our longer term vision for what we see for our life. Learn to see your life in a bigger picture. Think of your life beyond the present moment. When you're going into a relationship, where is this relationship going to take me to? Okay, yes, babe, you might enjoy the ambience of a short-term relationship, but if you're thinking in a longer term, you want to keep this friend. What purpose is this friend there for? I'm sorry, it might sound calculated, but best relationships or things that have worked out, life is a plan. Really not a fly by the seat of your pants kind of thing. Life is not a waiting room. You take life and you make it what you want it to be. Your own life, you take it and make it what you want it to be. And it starts with self-control. You can control what you read, you can control what you think, you can control how you relate to others, you can control how you talk, you can control your thought patterns, you can control your actions, you can control what you eat. All these are little parts of self-control that we tend to overlook. We don't discipline ourselves. We don't master or practice our craft, and we look at those who are super able to do what they are doing and say they are lucky. It's not luck. It's self-control. It's hard work. Now, your success is dependent on your self-control. You don't do your success story when you feel like it. You don't do it Today I'm not just in the mood. It's too hard. No excuses. Remember, the world is not your waiting room. You sit up and you go get what you want. Think in longer terms. Don't just think about the short term. If you think about the now, think of your now in a broader perspective. What will your action of now, how can it spiral to next time, and so forth? Don't eat your dessert before your main meal. Eating your dessert before your main meal is, I'll give you an illustration. When we were younger, my mom will make the dish food for us, and then she'll put meat, the juicy meat. The meat is the finale, the part that is to induce you to eat your vegetables. So she will tell you, if you don't eat your vegetables, then you're not entitled to eating your meat. And then you quickly, take a nibble of your meat. Now, eating your dessert before you've had the main meal. What is the motivation to focus on your main meal? In this sense, you don't put in the hard work. You won't have the results. I don't see where that works. If it worked the first time, I don't see how sustainable it is. I'll give you another illustration. Last week, I went shopping. Usually shop for the family weekly. And when I wanted to, my kids had run out of their vitamins, so I went down the aisle to get the vitamins. And usually at that aisle, you see a lot of healthy substances, and then you see the ones that are supposed to turn you into a svelte Wonder Woman and all that. They will promise you heaven and earth, you're going to lose XYZ kg and so fast. A little imp on one of my shoulders told me, look at that one. I looked at it. It called a fantastic name, Gassini. I can't even pronounce the name, Gassini or something of that nature. I was tempted, instantly tempted to buy it, because it would be the easier way out than all the long walks and the jogging and whatnot. But then one voice said to me, Jacqueline, this is really expedient, isn't it? It's easier for you to choose this than to sit down and make your meal plan for the week and stick to your meal plan. I quietly dropped that and walked away. I have fallen victim, and so many other women out there have over the years, buying those things that promise you instant results. Oh yeah, they do deliver, or in the interim they'll give you a running stomach, or give you the runs, and then you lose the water weight or whatever, and then you feel all good with yourself. But the funny thing is, when you rebound, you're worse off than where you started. So you've lost your money, you've lost your self-esteem, a bit of it, and your time. In the long run, it wasn't worth it. I would rather go take the high road and get to a sustainable lifestyle and results that I seek. So, self-control, having a plan and sticking to your plan. Don't look for rationalizing, excuses. Stop looking for distractions. That's your biggest, and the biggest, not just yours, the chief enemy of our success is lack of self-discipline. Be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful. Just take a little time. That's my assignment to you today. Take a little time out and sit and think about it. Those things have seeped into parts of us that we don't even notice when we're doing them, because they've become, like I said, a fabric of who we are. So we don't even know that we're exhibiting these habits, this little self-indiscipline that dots our steps. Yet we find ourselves not going beyond a certain point because we have put ourselves in a tight corner. We have limited ourselves by our actions, by our thought patterns, by our repetitive habit. my advice, my thoughts, my assignment, whatever you prefer to call it this week to you, is be a little more mindful. Take a journal, take a weekly account of your thoughts, your ideas, and all that runs through your mind this week. Think them through. And then at the end of the week, review. How well did you do? Where are those little ones that you just automatically found an excuse, automatically had one little self-indiscipline habit that came in the way? You'll be surprised. It's good, it's worthwhile doing this mind-searching moments and find those ideas or those thoughts or those patterns that you can get rid of. Success is a journey, and to get to where you need to go to, sometimes you actually have to become an entirely different person, a more mindful person. Thank you for listening to me once again, and here is wishing you a successful journey this week. Take care of yourself and be blessed.